Howdy dowdy doo-doo, it's Steve here from Steve's Monumental Adventures, and we're going on a bit of a journey. We're going to meet up with a few people today. It's gone on a little bit longer. I'm leaving later than I would have liked, but it's one of those, and change of venue completely. But that's what happens when Brendan Explores is involved in the situation. Anyway, we're going to be off, and we'll head to the location where we're going to all meet up. Well guys, here we are at the South Shropshire Remembrance Park, and this is where our good friend Kev Maddie is buried. So I thought, while I'm here, it'd be nice to just go and say hello and pay my respects while we're up here. And well, I have been thinking about this, you know, and I think it's a great place to sort of kind of finally rest here in this lovely woodland setting. Look at it. And I was thinking, well, I definitely want to be buried here, especially if I can get Marcus Keane from Telford Memories fame to carry my coffin all the way up there. That would be pretty awesome. I mean, this is it. This is the thing. When you die, they've got some effort to put in here to get you up there to where you are. But anyway, let's it looks absolutely beautiful this time of year now. Got all of the daffodils up. And what's really cool about this place is that they don't actually have headstones. You can actually have a tree, or maybe a bench or something like that. Anyway, these are going to kill me climbing up this hill, as when I am buried it will kill them. So we're going to head up there now, okay, to the top. And I'll tell you what, you have to be made of strong stuff, you know, to get up here. So this is where Kev's buried, here on Elder Bank. That's the final resting place of our mate. So we are here on the bench next to the resting place of our very much loved Kevin Maddie. Now, how do I know Kevin Maddie? That is a good question. Asking my own questions. You see, how I met Kev was I knew him through Marcus Keane, and I'd sort of semi-retired from caretaking, and I was debating whether to take a job as a caretaker. And Marcus Keane from Telford Memories fame, social media influencer, he said to me he knew a bloke who worked at a primary school. Well, I think it was an event like Zach Fest or something like that was going on, or some sort of event where that's where I actually met Kev for the first time. And he invited me up to Redhill Primary, where he worked, to come and have a little look around and show him the stuff that he sort of does there. And I was sold by it, and I thought to myself, yeah, the caretaking sounds like the right job for me. So I ended up getting the job, so I applied for the job and got it. And it was really, really good. And then me and Kev sort of became friends then, and started having a lot of stuff in common, such as fossils and whatnot. Fossils, to name a few. But also, he had a bit of a love of the underground, so he sort of became my right-hand man when it came to making all of the Telford Drains videos. And what I loved about Kev was he's always had health and safety at the forefront of everything he does, and that's testament to what he used to do at school, really. But one thing, I think I would probably be dead now if it wasn't for Kev and him sort of saying, hang on Steve, that's a bit stupid, hang on, you need to think about this. And that's the sort of thing he did, really. He did that with everybody. He always had a sort of very kind-natured kind of thing about him. One thing about Kev, though, he was no fool. He would not take shit off anybody, and I think One of his biggest epic falling outs was with Zach's mum. I think it's the names of Marie. They clashed big time, you know, but Kev never backed down. I'll tell you what. I don't know, Kev seemed to see people for exactly what they were. And I think, you know, that was one of his great points, really. Some of my favourite memories of Kev. The first one was when we were we were about to explore a terrain that was kind of uncharted territory, and we spent ages trying to get this concrete lid off, and then Kev, being Kev, decided to get all shackled up in the abseiling gear and stuff like that, and literally commando style just jumped straight down into this drain, misjudging how deep it was. But it wasn't actually that deep. And then what happened was he just hit the floor like a sack of shit. Always crazy. The other memory was because what he did is he was part of our walking group, a much loved part of our walking group, and he set up a wind-up with one of the walkers where we were actually going to get them to abseil off Patton's Rock at Wenlock Edge. And this particular walk was going rogue on Wenlock Edge, which was a tough walk at the best of things. But Kev kept all of that and some tins of soup in the back of his backpack, which had been really heavy. And he actually carried them all the way across Wenlock Edge, all this extra weight, just so we could prank Hannah. And we did. We basically made a abseil over the edge of the bank, and she did it, and then we just told her it was a wind up. I'll put the footage in so you can see it, but that's what he was. He was definitely a prankster. To be honest with you, with the terrain we've experienced already, this hill is a killer, and we are certainly feeling it now. Well, look now, Hannah has put herself forward for the abseiling. Let's see how this goes.
So, sorry guys. No, I meant if you're spraying, whoever's last.
Do you know, Hannah, what? You've got some fucking big lady-sized balls.
Yes, bigger balls than...
Why is it sometimes you'll be scared of them? I don't realise. Or am I just naive?
No one wants to abseil off anything.
I don't want to abseil, but if we're going to go...
No, that's what I like about you. He dropped on with you, didn't he?
We've been married 30 odd years, I've acted.
He dropped on, he did. And obviously he's been in his arse more. Oh, yeah, no, it's... What? Just saying you dropped on, didn't you, with this one?
I've dropped on with you.
She's looking at me, she's getting in the gear, she's trusting Kev, right? He's basically been kicked out the paratroopers because he
killed someone.
Yeah.
Comes up, that will do that, and you are locked.
Right.
And you cannot get out of it, right? So always keep that rope in your hand and that hand behind your back, right?
So all I do is pretend I have to touch that then.
Right. When you get to the edge, right, you're going to lean back as far as you can. Yeah. Just walk forward. You ain't going away. Try to the fucking thing. Right? And then you can start walking down. All right?
Potentially you might slip, so just watch yourself. Oh, you see, Kev's good at explaining things. Look, he's even having a go himself. Look, without the rope. No, good on him. There's no potential. He won't use the word potential with you. He'll just use you are going to slip.
Shall I throw my stick down when I'm finished?
You just do that. Just let it out slowly.
So I'm walking my
It's
hand
like
along
abseiling,
the rope.
yeah. You won't go anywhere unless you pull the rope out to your right. You pull it back like Anna.
I won't see
Anna,
you.
if you pull the rope like this, you'll stop. Okay?
Yeah.
If you pull the rope like that,
you can see she's starting to look worried now. Ian's giving us some advice. Well, that was quite handy as he was in the SAS.
You may need that hand guide.
Right, now.
So just keep this rope in.
Lean back. Lean back, back. Go on, keep going. Right, now slowly let that...
Way to go, Hannah!
That's
it.
it.
And walk back. Go on.
Oh, it's going to be that first bit. It's going to be horrible.
Yeah, once you get over it.
Don't do that, you'll hurt yourself.
I just want you to know what she's doing here is very safe. She is roped to that tree securely. She didn't last long, did she? She knows it's a joke now. She doesn't look happy.
Are we not doing it?
Everyone else looks relieved though. another memory of is when he was saying how good he was at picking locks, and he spent nearly 20 minutes trying to pick this lock that he clearly didn't pick. And we always look at that lock when we go past it at Paddock Mount in Ketley. We always go past that and sort of think, yeah, that's the lock that Kev Maddie used to try and pick. But that's what a great guy he is, and you know, he's sadly missed by a lot of people. But if I turn you around, look at this fantastic place he's laid to rest. Just so peaceful. Rest in peace, buddy. Right, time to meet up with the other scallywags, and I know Matty is turned up, Brendan's late, and there was no David, so let's go and see where they've got up. So we're actually camping not too far away from here actually, and if you're wondering where we are, we're actually on Wenlock Edge at the moment. Well, I did say to you, didn't I, we were coming along and we were going to see who else. Obviously, we've just seen somebody who isn't actually here in spirit. I mean, I can't actually believe that I'm here camping, overlooking where my mate's buried. How weird's that? I think that's intervention. I mean, I think Kimber Edge is overrated. Anyway, who we got here then? Let's have a look. No. Oh, you know him, don't you? You know him, don't you? He's just a classic there. Brendan Explores, and he'll have his own .com shop and everything, merch, the lot. So that's it. Well, anyway, you know Brendan Explores. Now, we haven't met this guy before. Dave Outdoors Indoors.
Let me breathe in.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is it. No, he's here with his the other Vivaro.
The other Vivaro, yes.
Yeah, and the elephant in the room there. Look, the Renault. Keep in there. So Dave,
yes.
How long have you been at this then?
Van?
Yeah.
Van I bought literally a couple of days after New Year last year. I think I had it fully converted. July time it was fully converted, and just over that period
So
of
you
time,
did all this yourself then? Is this a complete self-build?
This is everything you see is what I've done myself. Granted, the kitchen units, they were a flat pack from a company.
Yeah.
I've assembled them, I've painted them. If you look very close, in fact, don't look too closely, you'll see the little roller marks still in it. But, I've put a double swivel base on it. They're not cheap, you know, which you probably know. Yeah. Rock and roll bed. It's got diesel heater, 12-volt compressor fridge.
So you've added a bit in it since I last saw you. So you've got the fridge in there now, haven't you?
Yeah. From when I last saw you, which would have been van life.
Yeah.
The toilet sat in there until I was waiting to get the. I know it's a bit of a difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got a security camera in there. I've got Wi-Fi in there now, Steve. I made the shelf myself. I just followed the contour of the window. And yeah, I've got my little projector screen up here because I've got a projector.
Oh, you see, this is what Brendan's trying to do. He's becoming a mini you, isn't he? Oh, he's had that. I'll have that. I'll have that, hasn't he? But do you know what? I have to say, out of all the vans that I've seen, that has to be the biggest worktop.
Yeah.
Usable space that you could have, isn't it?
Big guy though, so
yeah, no, I mean that's pretty good, isn't it? Though you got a lot of preparation, but I suppose you ain't got a sink in that, have you?
No. I decided to opt away from a sink, and the pure fact for that was so I could have preparation area, and I've just got one of them collapsible sinks.
You know what? When you think about a sink and how much you use it, I think you're probably right there. I think if I had a choice, I probably wouldn't have a. Away.
So that's the lithium battery, which I recently collaborated with a company, Titan. I don't have gas in the van anymore. I've got an induction hob. I've got a toaster in here. I've got a kettle, and all that gets ran off my trusty grow what.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And that's it. And I was saying, you know, how do you think like smart tech has changed? Van life now, because obviously before the only thing you'd have to just run off the battery, you know.
I mean it's all changed, hasn't it now? So like you said, the 12 volts, then you'd have an inverter, wouldn't you? The inverter would power your 230-volt consumers. But yeah, these, I always find these, whether they be Bluetti, Jackery, Grow What, they're a game changer for people that are out on the road. I know when we fitted Brendan's diesel heater, we ran it off this to start it up and prime it, and then we obviously connected it up.
Yeah.
I mean, the bigger power packs are pretty much the same as
Yeah,
What,
is
a
that
battery?
well, actually probably even bigger, isn't it, when you look at it what it is? But yeah,
Yes,
I mean that's it. That's the way it's going, isn't it? Smart tech in vans now
It
is
is.
the way forward. And this, and you know, this isn't just stuck in the van. You can take that out. You can run power tools
yeah.
off it, the lot,
Yeah.
can't you?
This is 1500 watt hours, and it's a 2000 watt AC peak, and it pretty much powers anything.
Yeah,
Even
mate.
the kettle at home, mate.
Well, bud, I'll see you in a bit. Right, I've got to see this Matty guy. Ah, Matty, I'm coming for you. Here he is, look.
How are we?
Hey, here he is, Matty.
How are we?
How are you? Did you recovered after the last our last trip, didn't you?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so you're up for more punishment today, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with a good bit of punishment.
No. So, have you any further ahead? Because we talked last time, you said about your van, didn't you? Have you thought any further ahead about
To be honest,
where you're going with it?
To be honest, I'm looking at several different builds.
Yeah.
So what I've ended up doing is I'm looking on different sites at the moment. So just getting a feel and a bit of an idea of how much I'm going to pay.
Yeah.
I'm also looking about how much what build as well that I want as well. So there's different ideas and different styles that I've been looking at and kind of broadening my horizons.
What things are important to you then?
See, for me, I'm a very selfish guy. I like to have a very good night's sleep.
Yeah,
So, and if I can't literally sleep fully flat, I get a little bit cranky, I must admit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, that's something I am looking for in the future. I'm also wanting something that maybe, when and if the mood takes me, hopefully, maybe that I will be able to, you know, probably have a little bit more sort of space as well for different other things, you know, maybe get like a projector or something like that, you know, and fit it to it. But I'm looking at self-builds at the moment. If worst comes to the worst, I will buy a van and possibly look to kit it out myself. So yeah, there are different avenues at the moment I'm looking.
And the thing is, you've got some good people around you who will help you build that van, and they'll enjoy it as much as you enjoy doing it.
Absolutely. I mean, the one thing I've been very, very lucky and very blessed that I've got a good network now.
Yeah.
And I think that if you have a great network, even by doing things like YouTube and even looking for something as great as going for a van build, you know, you've got great networks there with great experience, great expertise, and you know, different, and also wisdom as well to actually help you and actually guide you further. So it's absolutely brilliant. It really is.
So you're still the original car camper, aren't you, at the moment?
Yeah.
Right, I'll have a look at your setup a little bit later on.
Okay.
You know, so you're keeping it original. It'll be quite sad because I mean, I was saying to Brendan about it. It's kind of sometimes it's your unique selling point being in a car because. You know, everybody's got these camper vans, haven't they? They're 10 a penny, but actually having a really decent car outfit is really important. You know, it's, you know.
I mean, I didn't want to go for the traditional model, which was to get, which was to rip all the back seats out and to remove the car aspect from it. Whereas I saw so many of those and I was not inspired, and I wanted it to be what was commonly known as a stealth camper.
Yeah.
And if you look at the back here, like, you know, there's literally nothing that represents that there's a bed or anything like that in here.
No, exactly. You look at this and you just think to yourself, it's just a normal family hatchback, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden it's straight into and I think that's actually it needs to inspire people, that does, doesn't it? To actually think, do you know what? Just because you've got a van, it doesn't mean. Just because you haven't got a van, it doesn't mean you can't go and do this and have that freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you limit yourself, to saying, oh well, I can't do this because of this reason.
I can't stop. I've got to stop this. This dick here is trying to level his van up with a rock.
Slowly. Slowly. Back a bit more. Steady. Whoa.
That's it, right. So Brendan's caught between a rock and a hard place. He needs some wraps, I'm sorry.
How's that feel?
Mate, it's your flipping, it's that, look how that's sloping it down.
Huh?
Take that out.
Hey, so you've done sitting on top of it. Rocks don't damage tyres, mate.
Mate, if you take that out, give the suspension a bit of a chance.
Put yourself in there.
Go on, mate. Go on. Go on. Come on. No, I said, didn't I, that I didn't give a shit whether the van's level or not, because I can sleep either way. Yeah. But Brendan, it's important. Go on then, let's look at it.
It is, mate. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Do you still feel like you're...
just lie in the bed and lean.
A little bit.
You feel on the lean.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't we wait till then? They're going to be gone. We'll be able to get sort it out. Look, the car's out a bit better.
What time's Gore coming?
Be later on. Are we going for a walk?
Well, I'll tell you what. While we're doing this, then, if Matty moves over, and if you move over, Dave, I can go next to you because there's actually quite a bit of gap between you and that Yeti.
I'm right over there, out the way.
And then by the time Gore comes,
level.
You'll be level there, mate, where Matty is. And then by the time...
So we're just taking Brendan for a little walk now, apparently. Every time you ask him, you go, we're having a walk, he always has to know how far it is all the time. Makes your piss boil. So guys, we are about to take a walk. So we're at Rushbury, we're just outside Rushbury, and this is one of the Wenlock Edge footpaths here. It's only a short section, but actually it's really nice, and I suppose it's going to be quite nice now this time of year in the spring, because you'll have a lot of nice greenery shooting up and what have you. A few smackheads on the way, you know, can't be helped. But yeah, no, seriously, it's nice, and I've got the boys here as well. They're not with me. I don't actually know who's with who, really. It's kind of, you know... I'm with Brendan. Brendan's leading. He knows this off the back of his hand.
Oh yeah, I've been here 10 times, mate. 10 times I've been here.
I would say, in terms of stages, this is probably stage 3 of Wenlock Edge. This is the little piece of track that takes you between Wilderhope Manor and Rushbury. So this is a nice little bit. It's quite, in terms of Wenlock Edge, it is one of the thinnest parts, and actually you might be able to see the drone footage where you can see this is quite a thin part of the edge itself. And like I say, when I talk to you about Wenlock Edge, this actually, what we're actually standing on is a fossilised coral reefing effect, and basically the sea would have lapped up against it and actually created this reef. And the fossils in Wenlock Edge are, you know, there's all sorts of little bits and pieces here. It actually is a world famous site. Well, there we are. That's the end of the walk, and we're just going back to the car, and I believe there will be another person joining us. a mate of Dave's by the looks of it. Maybe I'll find out later about who he is, but I have seen his video. I think his name's Gordon, actually. But anyway, was that cool or what? That was a nice walk, wasn't it? And that is, as I said, that is stage 3 of Wenlock Edge, and it's just beautiful. But now it's time to head back and cook some food, I suppose, because I'm quite hungry. It would have to start raining, wouldn't it? But I'll just show you what I'm cooking up. So in here I have got some fried vegetables there, look, as you can see. And in the air fryer we have got, if I open it, we have got some duck and some chips there. So duck, chips and vegetables are what we're at. So that's running off my inverter at the moment, which is in there, which is running off on there. So this is a sort of 750 watt air fryer, does the job, so hopefully that's enough to cook. And then what I'll do is I'll just throw them in the Ridge Monkey for a little bit of time, and then the job's a good one. So there's the duck there, look, so that looks very nice, doesn't it? And I've got some chips here for a chip sandwich. So,
everyone this morning?
we double filming here. Oh,
in fact,
whoa!
I pressed record first. You better believe it, all right?
Okay.
Is this some sort of recording Mexican standoff?
Yeah, who can draw first?
So this is what happens when I'm doing a piece of footage and we don't finish it. I've got to finish it in the morning, so it looks like we just finished it last night. You see, because it was.
Just don't put the camera on me, otherwise I look like this. What happened to Brandon? Did he go for a bush?
Well, I did wonder why you did arrive.
So night eater on?
I've only just turned it on.
Yeah.
I've only just turned it on.
Do you think it was cold this morning?
Yeah, it was a little bit chilly. Yeah, I got up.
I'd asked you about you.
You know what?
About 2 o'clock, I noticed that
it dropped, didn't it?
It dropped a tiny bit.
It did drop. Yeah,
it
did quite a lot last night.
I did have my thermal sleeping bag.
But I tell you what, you need to see something because you've seen it. You haven't seen it. Come with me.
Ooh. Yeah, what an invitation.
Look at this, right? I had the best night's sleep last night, okay?
Oh yeah, but yeah, viewers, this is Brendan's new bed layout, isn't it? Look, the double bed.
Kettle's on.
Mate, doesn't that look better? I've got to say, I could see why you did that.
Yeah.
Fold it back over, job's a good one. I was intrigued, I was going to ask you about the legs, where they actually screwed into.
Just on the bottom.
But how do they actually screw into the base of this?
There's like a little bracket. There's a little bracket.
Oh, I see. And that comes with it, does it?
Yeah, 11 quid, B&Q, get 3 of them, 30 quid for the bracket.
And you don't feel that through the... You don't feel that through...
No, not with a 3-inch phone, mate.
No, I suppose you don't when it's your sofa, do you?
No, it's brilliant.
Looks, mate, looks.
Now, doesn't that look comfortable?
Sorry,
I'll tell you what, it was.
Yeah.
It was, mate.
Yeah.
I'll close the door, keep the heat in.
Keep the heat in.
I'll have a nice hot drink in there in a minute.
Yeah, well,
Join me, Matthew, for a hot drink?
Yes, please.
What about yourself, Steve?
I'm going in a minute. Just say I was.
Okay, right. I can hear the cue. I better go because otherwise he's going to start nudging me saying, "Put your camera where your cheek." All right then, right. I'll join you back when the kettle's boiled.
So, Matty, now you're ready, basically, right, for bye-byes, aren't you, Ria?
Yeah.
Right. So let's have a look at your setup then, right? Let's talk me through it.
Okay. So the one thing I wanted to do, like I said in the previous one, is that I didn't want to have a bed like wooden bed, because otherwise you're just compromising the design.
Yeah.
As you probably saw in the one video, everything all fits nicely in the boot. I wanted to make sure that it was almost like a stealth camper. It took me months to plan, about a month or so to plan it. So in the back here, it's all neatly filled out. This is all sleeping bag. This is all filled. This usually there's a flat. It's not. A flat surface.
I see. So you've put basically a piece of polystyrene in there. So you literally you haven't got that drop in the boot. The well of the boot.
Correct, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, that is what's commonly known as radiator plasticity.
Yeah.
So it goes around your radiators in your house. So it's completely not what what it was designed for, but I knew that I needed something to kind of level it out.
Yeah.
And, Brendan and I spent, it must have been about a couple of hours. I mean, obviously it's looking tired now, but what we did was that we stuck like a bit of some black out there, and obviously put some double-sided stickies on the side. And it is starting to show a little bit that it's getting a bit sagging a little. But
I always found with mine that the back sags.
Yeah. But they don't make them for the Vauxhall Astra.
They don't. You know, it's all, everything's pretty much handmade.
I bet there is someone somewhere that does, but you'd be paying over the arse for it.
Yeah, someone to tailor make it for you.
Yeah. But I mean, that took about an hour, maybe two to do all these, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
cut them all, put the tabs on. Yeah.
Even to buy the material as well, you know, and stuff like that.
Brendan, just quickly, is there not even a tiny little bit of you misses car camping?
No.
I knew.
Do you know what?
That's quite an honest answer, that is.
There is elements. Okay? Obviously, the challenge. Genuinely, I probably think it makes for better viewing.
Yeah.
Right, okay. But I didn't start YouTube just to get views. You know, obviously the views are great, and I love to get a video that does well. But I want to enjoy myself. I enjoy myself now. I enjoyed myself before, but I never knew how much I could enjoy myself and be comfortable. I mean, I woke up this morning and I feel fresh.
Jesus, that's enough, mate. Come on. You know what I mean? Just a no would do, wouldn't it?
Insensitive.
Yeah.
Sorry. Gotta be honest.
But Matty, it's inspiring you, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, sooner rather than later, I know that this is going to go, and I'm going to be devastated when it goes, because it's been a bloody good car overall.
Yeah, and
mechanically, it's been brilliant. You know, I've had hardly any problems with it. You know, I'll probably miss the challenge of, I don't know, having a full gym workout in the morning just to try and change clothes. But yeah, you know.
Open it up then. Open the tin up.
So,
right, let's have a little snoot in it. I remember doing this for Brendan. No unreleased that was, you know.
There we go.
It's simple. So you got a simple single bed.
Yep.
And obviously the seats, when they're folded down, they sit up slightly, don't they? Which is nice for your, obviously your back. So then it comes down. That is nice.
That's a cheap ass pillow as well from Home Bargains.
Yeah, I think I'd struggle in that. But then, is that any? But we ought to actually next time we'll measure how wide my bed is and how wide yours is.
You're a good foot and a half over.
Yeah,
Matty. You're a bigger bloke than me. But I think, to be fair, that's probably the best you can achieve in a Vauxhall Astra.
Yeah.
I mean, I said to Brendan last night, the one thing that I actually loved was actually keeping the parcel shelf, because some people take the parcel shelf out, and I think, why? Because you could use that for so many things. Well, I've left like valuables on the parcel shelf. I've even had my phone last night, and I watched Only Fools and Horses till the late night.
Yeah.
You know, so I had a cinema near enough in that. The only thing I've changed recently is I've had a change of the curtain that's literally in between the passenger seats.
Yeah.
And Brendan and I did help do this in the previous video, but we've also put some wind deflectors on, and it made a hell of a difference last night.
So a lot of people that obviously these wind deflectors popping up. So what's the purpose of them?
Well, first of all, I mean, the one thing that you miss, even if you have the windows up, is air. You need ventilation, and if not, you start to have condensation, which you'll see a little bit here at the front, because I didn't actually pull the windows fully down last night. But not just that, I noticed it when we did the One Shropshire camp. Is that because I didn't have any wind deflectors, it chucked it down the night before, and there was water that just literally came in, and rain just comes in at an odd angle, and it will literally wet your seats, and it will wet everything else. And I kind of found my passenger seat to have a puddle near enough, so I was like, I need some wind deflectors. So, but apart from that, it's cheap and simple. And
I think this is kind of a bit like my van. I think we use the word small, we use it cosy, don't we? It's cosy, it's snug.
Yes.
Snug, yeah.
It's like sleeping in a sardine can.
Yeah, we don't call it snug as a bug in Brendan's van. No. It's there's loads of room in it, isn't there?
Yeah. But I mean, this I want to prove to people out there that it can be done.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to prove it could be done.
So, Matty, the question is, how many days have you been away in this car in one block?
just with an overnight.
Yeah, just being an
Right.
overnight.
That's going to change soon.
But it is going to change.
Yeah.
It is
And how do you think? Are you anxious about that, or do you think it's
little.
going to be?
I think it's not because of the car itself; it's more posturally.
Yeah.
But apart from that, that's about it, really. I know this car can do the distance; it's not a problem.
So when Brendan started doing his, you all were almost completely self-sufficient in your car, weren't you? You had everything you needed in there, all of your cooking bits and pieces.
I think that's the difference really between what I have with the Scenic and what you have with yours.
Yeah.
Yours is very convenient in the fact that it can all fold into the boot within a case of 5 or 10 minutes. You drive away, you've still got all your seats to be used for passengers. Whereas obviously with what I did with the Scenic, I took that middle row of seats out, had a wooden based bed, had the water container, had the little mini kitchen at the back. It was a proper, you could call it a proper conversion, wasn't it? But that's like really, really convenient. Just to whip away and go to work the next day.
Exactly. That yours is a hatchback. Yours was
like a family car.
Yeah. What do they call them? MPVs, don't they?
7-seater.
Yeah. And it's designed for getting a lot of kids in there.
The thing is, as well, is that I miss the stealth aspect of most of these car campers because everybody took the back seats out. And you know instantly when you park in the car park, I always do this as well, I'm guilty of this. I look at the cars and I go, oh, nice car. Oh, nice seats. Whereas if you look at his, or anybody else's for that matter, they go, oh, he's got a bed, so he's obviously sleeping in that tonight. Like this, whereas this, you can fold it out, like nobody's none the wiser. One thing I will say, and Brendan touched on it when he did car camping, for anybody that wants to get into this, and I did this, and in some ways as well, I was also guilty of not doing this, is if you ever feel like doing it, camp on your drive first. Camp on somewhere where it's close.
And if you
forget something, you write a list and you tick it off when you've packed it. It's so brilliant.
That's a really good bit of advice.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are thinking of parking on a driveway, then the best thing is just to go and parkonthedriveway.com.
And make sure it's your own.
Yeah.
I did think to myself, I wanted to go to Milton Keynes, right? And I did want to go to Milton Keynes, and I was thinking of going to Stevie Radford's driveway because he was away for a couple of weeks. I thought that'd be perfect for me, nice and secure. What more do you want?
And do you know what? The other thing I also do is I make sure that I have like 3 bags on me. One's my tech bag, one's a kitchen where I can put like my utensils or
as you say, utensils,
your food and stuff like that, and then you've got your clothes, so I mean you can get changed and stuff like that. I mean the biggest challenge for me is getting changed in this car. It really is.
Houdini. I bet you. Did you have straight jacket training?
Yeah.
I reckon he wears multiple outfits and just whips them off in the morning.
Yeah. No wonder he's hot yesterday.
Ready
for my Bruce Almighty, But no, I mean, the one challenge I've always I said this to my viewers this morning, and it is a challenge, is trying to get changed in the morning. And the one way I've learned was just that I did camping when I was a little bit younger, and the way to get changed is that you actually change in your sleeping
Well, just
bag.
hold that thought. I swear he's just got out of Dave outdoors his van.
But you get changed in your sleeping bag, and honestly, it's down, off, down, off, and then put it back on again.
Well, Matty, we have a trip coming up, don't we? Which is going to test your car camping ability. It works, and obviously Brendan really looks after you, doesn't he? And that's that. That's the main, and that's what makes the four, isn't it?
I'm lucky to have him actually. As much as I've taken the Mickey out of him for a long period of time.
And I suppose it's really good that you got me to take the piss with you now.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I'm very fortunate of. I've got a great mate that I've known for over 10 years or more, and I've met yourself as well. Who's a bloody good bloke.
Bollocks.
And, so we, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm very lucky to have the connections I've got now, and sometimes it's a lot of trial and error in life, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you try and look for the right fit.
Yeah. And it is, and it's like a dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to have the right dynamic.
I think dynamics is like a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
You know,
the shoe has to fit.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I actually say that. That's an analogy I actually use. I do use that at work, and I say about schools, I say about caretakers, you can't just put anybody in there. Shoe has to fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that Cinderella. Listen to that laugh.
I know. It's like Scooby Doo.
Oh, you can hear it a mile away, can't you?
It's like Scooby Doo.
Do you know what I mean? So, apart from Brendan's laugh, when you woke up this morning, what's the first thing you heard?
Do you know what?
Apart from Brenda's night eater.
Yeah, apart from Brenda's night eater. Apart from that, I didn't really hear anything really. Apart from I did hear
birds.
I heard the
birds.
birds.
The birds were. I heard first thing, and I was thinking, bloody hell! I was, what time is it?
Do you know what? Actually, the first thing that woke me up actually was the light coming in actually.
Yeah.
And I thought, do you know what? You know, usually I'm up about 6 o'clock. Anyway.
It's the problem with that. It's too dark. I don't even know.
Yeah.
What time it is?
Oh. You were out like a light when I
yeah.
went past you.
Oh my God, man! I was.
You were
yeah.
away.
Well, I'm on 6 o'clock starts all next week, so I'm not relishing that.